Hey, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop with a playthrough of the new official solo mode for Arcadia Quest from Cool Mini or Not. I've played Arcadia Quest competitively several times and I always enjoyed the core gameplay and wondered how a solo or cooperative mode might look, and recently Cool Mini or Not delivered with a version 1.0 and an updated 1.1 based on player feedback. One of our Patreon patrons requested a playthrough of this game specifically, and then it won the most votes for patrons in general, so here we are with a playthrough. I'm not going to do a review of this one since this solo mode doesn't feel entirely finished. I think they're still kind of working out the kinks, but it plays pretty well, so let me walk you through the basics and we'll get to the playthrough. And as always, if you want to skip past setup and how to play and just go right to the game itself, use the timestamps. And if you like what you see here at the One Stop Co-op Shop, subscribe and don't forget the little bell icon to get notifications. Join the conversation on our Slack or our Discord channel. Listen to our podcast on Sundays, and consider supporting us through Patreon, then you'll get to vote on games like this as well. So Arcadia Quest is sort of a campaign game where your team of 3 heroes levels up. And how normal campaign works is you have to complete 3 outer circle missions, 2 inner circle missions, and then 1 final mission. And that stays the same for the solo mode. In this case, I've chosen to show you one of the missions that's rated as medium difficulty, the Moon Gate. They have a diagram of everything you need to set up. I've got that all out on the board. And one of the nice things about the solo mode is you don't have to change any of this. It's all the same, except you do have to know who the guard monsters are, which means they'll never move off of their spot. And in this scenario, it's the 2 hammer-wielding beast men. But to zoom in a bit and show you what you're seeing, the board is made up of a series of 3x3 tiles. And they have pre-seeded enemies. In this scenario, we've got orc marauders, orc captains, goblin archers, and those hammer beastmen. A lot of the spaces are bordered by gray walls. Those are interior rooms, and you can't go through the walls generally. But then to give you some means of passage, you'll lay down these little closed or open door tiles. So like here is a room, but you can get in through this door if you open it. And here's a little room with an orc in it that already has an open door. You also have these little exploration tokens that if you move onto them can give you potions and gold. And these teleporters that let you move between 2 of the same color for a single movement point. You also need to set up your player board and choose your 3 heroes. Here I've got Zazu, Greensleeves, and Diva. And then you have 5 generic starter attack cards, and you divide them up. Here I've got Zazu with only 1 because he has an ability to use it more often. And then Greensleeves is good with bows, so he's got one of those, and I just kind of randomly divided up the rest of it. You choose one of the team's starting sets of 3 spaces. Here I'm going to do this one. And only 2 people can be in a space at a time, so we'll put Diva and Zazu there, and Greensleeves the archer can pull up the side here. A few other elements we need for the scenario. We've got the 2 quests. These are what we need to complete to win in the solo play. We've also got the level 1 statistics for the 4 enemy types that are on the board. You always use level 1 for the first scenario you play, then level 2, level 3, and so on. Finally, something unique to solo play, you take the 3 other cards for each enemy type. So here I've got 3 goblins, 3 captains, 3 marauders. You don't do it in this one for the hammer beastmen because they just stay put. And this is going to be shuffled into the enemy activation deck. In competitive play, enemies kind of hang out until you interact with them, but in solo mode, 2 of them are going to charge after you every round. So that's it for setups. Let's get into the basics of play. In solo mode, you alternate between hero turns and enemy turns. In a hero turn, in whichever order you like, you activate each of your 3 heroes, and each of them gets 1 attack and 3 movement points, and they have to do 1 before or after the other. So they can attack and then move, or move and then attack, but not move 1 space, attack, and then move the rest. Movement's pretty straightforward. For 1 movement point, you can open or close a door if you want to lock somebody out. You can also move 1 space orthogonally. If you're on a portal space, you can spend 1 movement to move to another portal space of the same color. And if you're ever on a space with an exploration token and no enemies there, even in the middle of movement, you get to reveal it and immediately give it to the character unless it's a trap and it does some surprise damage to him. As for attacking, you have to choose a weapon in your character's inventory that is not exhausted. If it's a melee attack, you need to be close to the enemy, which means either a space orthogonally adjacent to them, not divided by walls, or in the space with them. And by the way, I didn't mention for movement, max number of units in a single space is 2. Or for ranged combat, you can be at any range from them, but you have to have clear line of sight. They can go in a straight line or diagonally, but you can't go through a wall. You also can't move into or shoot through what's called a blocked space, where 2 enemies are in the same space. But you can move and shoot through a space with 1 ally and 1 enemy, you just can't end your move there. When you attack, you roll the indicated number of attack dice, and if the enemy has any defense dice, none of the ones in this scenario do, you also roll those. And if it's a range attack, you're looking for the bow icons. If it's a melee attack, you're looking for sword icons. Each one deals 1 damage after subtracting any defense results rolled by the defender. And damage will build up over time, and if a unit ever has as much damage as their life value here, they're discarded, and you get this much gold for your team. Oh, and a quick note about the combat dice. Both the attack dice and the defense dice have a critical symbol. This counts as 1 hit or 1 block, but additionally it explodes and lets you roll another die, and you can keep on rolling those forever if you're lucky. But anytime you attack an enemy, they get to move up to this many spaces and try to get into range of you and then attack you back, unless you deal at least this many wounds in a single attack, regardless of whether they're injured or not. So 3 damage would take out the Orc Marauder and he wouldn't get a chance to hit you back. Now whenever you attack with an item, you put an exhausted token on it, and you can't use that weapon again until you rest. Speaking of resting, instead of activating your entire team for a turn, you can instead skip your turn and rest. When you do that, you take off all the exhaustion tokens so you can use all your attacks again. You can also freely distribute attacks among your heroes. And if any of your heroes have been killed, if they've taken their life value just like an enemy, you can respawn them back in your base or near one of your other heroes. One more thing about movement, kind of like enemies get to attack back when you attack them. If a hero who's either in the same space or close to an enemy tries to move, they also get a free attack on that hero. So you want to defeat guys before you run past them. Now as for the enemy turn, you roll 2 attack dice. Here I got a sword and bow. And you find the spawn token that corresponds to it, in this case this one. Then you draw the top card of your activation deck, and here I got an Orc Marauder. I find the enemy of that type closest to the rolled spawn space, so this guy in this case, and he then spends up to 3 movement to get as close to the closest hero as possible, and that includes using portals. So in this case, this guy would go 1, 2, 3, and pop out right outside our door. Enemies will stop moving the second they can attack you, and they can also open doors with 1 movement point. Then you resolve a second card using the same spawn point, and that's it for the enemy turn. Now, as you kill enemies and get gold for them, you put them on this little death track here, and when it gets filled at the beginning of the next enemy turn, you roll a spawn point for every enemy on here, 1 by 1, and they go in that space. But if you roll a spawn point that doesn't exist or is full, then they just get taken out of play entirely. And I said it before, but just to reiterate, to actually win the mission, you need to complete all of the player versus environment quests. So here we've got Close the Gate and Kill Orc Captain. And losing in the game is based on hero death. Every time one of your heroes is killed, you take them off the board and drop all their exploration tokens on their space. And they then get one of these little death tokens. And if you ever get as many death tokens spread among your heroes as the difficulty level you've chosen, 3 is normal, 4 is easy, 2 and 1 are harder, then the scenario immediately ends. Although you continue the campaign, you just get fewer items to choose from to upgrade yourself. So there are a few more details here and there, but we'll get to them as we go. Let's get to the playthrough. So winning in this scenario is all about the northern spaces. We have to defeat one of these hammer guards to get one of these quest tokens. That will seal one of the gates and discard one of the spawn tokens. And we have to kill one of those 2 orc captains, and they can actually move towards us, whereas the hammer guys will never activate. In terms of our brave warriors, Zazu has the ability that if he attacks someone who's close to another one of my heroes, he doesn't exhaust it. That's why he has only 1 weapon. Greensleeves deals 2 hits with crits when he's attacking with bows instead of 1, so the slingshot is good there. And Diva has no special power, but has 4 defense, and they all have 4 life, by the way, so she's a little bit harder to take down. So let's start working our way to the north and trying to get some gold while we're at it. I'll have Diva go first, so she can get close to somebody for Zazu to get his bonus. She'll spend 1, 2, 3 movement. She immediately gets this exploration token. And in this case, she gets a potion. She can discard this during her turn to heal all her wounds. And she has 1 movement left, but since this door is open, if she tried to run past this guy, I'd get an attack on her. So instead, she'll exhaust her Life Drain ability. It has 2 range attack, and the special ability if she hits to heal 1 wound won't matter yet. And since she's attacking a regular Marauder, the guy we saw, she needs to do 2 damage to kill him, but 3 damage to not get attacked back herself for 3 dice. And even though he's right next to us, the attack type is still range, so we're looking for bows or crits. We got only 1 damage. So we'll mark this guy with 1 hit, but he's attacking Diva back with 3 dice, and she gets 4 dice of defense. Alright, so he hit us for 3 and we defended for 2, but we got some crits to roll. Oh no. So my crits miss. Okay, but that's not a melee hit. So that's 4 minus 2, 2 damage out of her 4 on Diva. Looks like she'll be happy pretty early that she has a healing potion. Alright, well, if Zazu go next, 1, 2, he'll stop there to also attack this guy. He has a Rusty Blade that rolls 3 melee attack. And remember that because of his ability, it will not exhaust, so he can use it again. Alright, so we got 2 so far. Reroll the crit. 3, awesome. So the fact that this guy was already hurt didn't matter, because we did 3 damage, and don't forget that was his value to prevent retaliation, so he does not hit Zazu back. And we get 1 coin for our coffers. All the regular enemies give us 1 coin, and then the little bosses, the Orc Captain and the Hammer guys, they give us 2. And our friend the Orc goes right here, waiting for respawn eventually. Alright, and finally let's have Greensleeves come in and get on the action, and he can shoot that Goblin. Although Goblins are pretty weak, and his Slingshot can do extra damage. So yeah, let's walk up close and use his Parrying Blade. Although it might be dumb, I'm leaving Greensleeves on this teleport square. So that's a 2 melee attack, 1 damage will kill him, 2 so he doesn't retaliate, and if he does, it's a 2 range attack at us. Okay, we don't even have to roll the extra 2 hits, because this guy's already done. So that's it for our first turn. Let's see which spawn point gets activated. Double Sword. And if we look up, like most of the spawn points in this scenario, it's up here near the Orc Captains. And speaking of Orc Captains, that's our first activation. We ignore the movement value of 1. When an enemy activates here, they move for 3. And these 2 are equally far away, so let's have this guy go 1, 2, 3. He's trying to get to that teleporter. I think that's for the fastest way to us. And even after 3 movement, he couldn't attack, so that's it for his activation. Second is the Orc Marauder nearest that spawn point, which in this case is this one. And yeah, here's where leaving Greensleeves out to dry was a bad idea. He's going to go 1, 2, teleport, right to here for 3. And he'll attack Greensleeves, who normally has a defense of 2, but that Parrying Blade raises it to 3, even though it's exhausted. Oh, man. All right, let's reroll the crits. Okay, that didn't help him. It didn't help me as well. You'll see the defense is much less likely to be rolled than offense, so that's 2 damage to Greensleeves as well. Yuck. All right, let's have Zazu go first. Since Greensleeves is already close to this orc, he can get his bonus and not use his sword again. 3 dice. And, wow, once again, we are good. That guy's done. Meanwhile, Greensleeves would not like to die. So let's have him go up 1, 2, 3 and check out this exploration token. Oh, and it's treasure. If we manage to hang on to this, it'll be worth its indicated value, 2 gold at the end of the scenario. But don't forget, if somebody dies, they'll drop it on their space, so if we don't pick it back up, we might not get it. Alright, and Greensleeves can't attack. Diva, though, still can, but should she? Oh, why not? She can use that healing potion to heal herself. So she'll move up here. And I guess shoot the goblin closest to her. And her only weapon left is Nova Bolt, which is another 2 ranged attack. And again, this ability won't help. It would let her hit somebody close to him, but since the orc moves, she can't. Right, come on, take that goblin out. Oh man, we'll hit him, but he'll hit us back. So 2 ranged attack back. And okay, he missed entirely, so we didn't even need our good defense roll. So that's our 4th kill, so we're going to have a respawn pretty soon. But we also have 4 gold, and honestly, whether you win or lose a scenario, you move on anyway, so getting a bunch of gold to buy stuff is often the more important thing. And I will go ahead and use the healing potion to get Diva back to fighting strength, just in case she gets attacked. Alright, enemies going again. We got a crit and a bow. In this case, up here. And by the way, if in solo play you roll a spawn point that's not on the board, you just re-roll until you get one. Okay, so first is the Orc Marauder closest to that, which is actually going to take us way down to these guys. And even though this guy is farther away, with the portal doesn't really matter. So I guess I'd rather have that guy get out of the room so he can't swing at us as we walk by. So he'll move 1, be right next to Diva. And, ooh, I'm probably fine. I've got 3 defense already, although he could roll another crit. Nope, he's just got 3 damage, so I don't need to re-roll mine. I am good. Okay, second activation is the Orc Captain closest to that one, which is going to be the same Orc Captain we moved before. And his fastest path is actually through the purple. That's 2, 3 movement, which is great for us. He's not quite in range of Zazu, but now one of our quest goals is in striking distance. Now, sadly, our heroes aren't in a great spot because Diva doesn't have any weapons, even though she's next to an orc. So I could just rest right now and get all her stuff back, but let's try to have Zazu and Greensleeves take this guy out first, and she'll just kind of hang out so she doesn't get a retaliation attack against her. So actually I have Zazu go first, since I'm planning to rest next turn and won't matter. So he will exhaust his sword. The Orc Captain has the same 2 life to kill, but you need 4 to not get hit back. And he also attacks for 3, but he gets a free re-roll on his own attack each time. Right, come on, Zazu, take him down! Alright, we did kill him, but he gets to hit us back. And Zazu's only got 2 defense straight up. Oh my lord, I think we're going to be dead. Yeah, no reroll needed there. I guess he would reroll that. Okay, well, either way, Zazu is killed, but so is that guy. Which will get us 2 gold, plus the first quest completed. And a good little detail for me after that terrible rolling, the Orc Captain does not go on the spawn space, so I won't have to do a spawn at the end of this round. So Zazu's taken off the board, he gets a death token, but he didn't have any exploration tokens to drop. And remember, I'm playing on normal difficulty, so I need 3 death tokens before I lose. And now what's Greensleeves going to do? He's already injured. How about this? Let's move him up. Well, let's actually shoot past the Orc at the Goblin. That's an easier kill. So it's exhausting our last unexhausted weapon, the Slingshot. We get 2 range attack. But with Greensleeves' ability, any crit will be 2 hits. So there we go. The Goblin does not get to retaliate. I'm happy to get the gold, but that is going to trigger a spawn, so that might have been a terrible idea. And like I already said, Diva's not going to take a turn. She has nothing to attack with, and she doesn't want to move just to let the Orc strike her. Alright, with the spawn track filled, before we activate 2 monsters, we're going to roll for them. So first Orc goes to Sword and Bow. And I'll go through the rest off camera to show you the results in a second. So not too bad results. 3 of the guys went out, but the last 2 goblins both rolled spaces that were already full, so they are out of the game. All right, now we roll for our target spawn point like normal. Double bow. Oh, I just put a guy there. And first is the archer closest to double bow. So he's going to go 1, 2, and that gives him a line of sight on our friends. And unfortunately, when heroes are equidistant, they'll try to attack the one with less health, so Greensleeves is in danger, especially with that kind of rolling. The sword is a miss because it's a ranged attack, but we've got a crit, and that's it. Greensleeves is down 2. That's 2 heroes. And he does drop the treasure, although Diva can pick it back up if she gets the chance. And oh darn, another Goblin Archer, which will be the exact same one that just activated. Hopefully Diva has a bit more luck. Okay, she blocked 2, but they're getting a 3rd roll. It's a miss, so no damage. Good job, Diva. Alright, so we have to take a rest turn. That'll get us our 2 heroes back and unexhaust all our weapons. We could mix things around, but I think we're okay right now. Heroes have to spawn back in your base or on or close to another hero. So let's have Zazu right there and Greensleeves 1 over. But that's our entire turn, so more enemy attacks coming. Spawn point is Sword Bow. Oh, right in front of us. This isn't going to be good. First is an Orc Marauder. Clearly going to be this one, so he'll just stroll on over. Now, a good thing for us in this case is if both heroes have the same health, I can choose who gets attacked, so I can pick Diva with her higher armor. And okay, darn, so she takes 1 damage. And the second activation is a Goblin Archer. And sadly, this guy can shoot Diva, because don't forget, your own units don't block line of sight, just 2 spaces full of enemy units. Come on, come on! Alright, we blocked it, don't even have to roll the crit. So to close this scenario out, we need to get to this big boy, which at this point looks like we gotta take out both of these orcs and that goblin, I guess. Let's have Zazu go first. He's not even going to exhaust his weapon to attack one of those guys. And awesome, he killed him without any retaliation. But he won't move, doesn't want to give the orc a free swing. Oh, and I should say, yeah, let's have Zazu pick this up. Since Diva's hurt, we'll have her use Life Drain. If she hits, she'll get 1 wound back. The chance of killing the orc are not fabulous. Oh! He does get an attack back, but that's still awesome. So she heals herself. But then he might hurt her all over again. Okay, she blocked 1, so she just ends up with the same 1 hit, I guess. And she can move up, so let's do it. And then Greensleeves can do the same. Yeah, what the heck, let's get him all the way up there and then shoot that goblin. Nice! No retaliation. So that went way better than I could have hoped. We cleared them all out without too much damage. So let's see how they come back at us. Okay, sword and bow again, right in front of us. First is an Orc Captain. That seems pretty good. 1, 2, 3. He's not going to do anything unless he activates again. And we reshuffle the cards when we go through them all, of course. And second, we have a Goblin Archer. Closest is one of these guys up here. And they can run right down and shoot at, I guess, our injured Diva again. She is definitely tanking well. Oh, and yes, she is. No damage again. Awesome. So here we go. We're in spitting distance of winning. So let's see. Each of them has 1 weapon left. I'm thinking maybe Greensleeves will stab the goblin with the dagger, Zazu will just run up, Diva will run up, and then we can actually attack the guys next round. So let's try it. Greensleeves, do your thing. That's not good when you're attacking with a melee weapon. So the goblin is attacking right back. Okay, it misses as well. Neither of us rolled the right type of attack. So, that didn't go great. Let's have Greensleeves run back to make room for Zazu. Because Zazu can attack with his sword and not exhaust it, so he'll still have it for the Beastman in a second. Oh wait, then Green Sleeves will take an automatic attack. Whatever, let's do it. And come on. Oh, we both got a lot. Extra dice. Okay, we're fine. Alright, Zazu attacking the Goblin. There we go. Alright, and then Diva will go 1. Let's see what we get. Ooh. Treasure. Oh no, and a trap. She's down to 2 health. And then I think 2, and she'll just go ahead and open the door, because those guys won't ever attack until we attack them or move away. So if we just survive this round, we have a chance of winning. We have 4 enemies on the board, so not quite to a spawn. But speaking of spawn points, they're coming from Double Sword, which is up there. Goblin Archer first, shooting Diva. Come on, big armor. Yes, we're fine. Block both the arrows. Oh, but he's going to try again. That's probably the best possible result for us. Don't die! Yes. Okay, we are good. Alright, so we gotta do 3 to kill this guy, 5 to kill him without retaliation. Good luck on that. He has 4 dice of attack, and if he wounds you, you're dazed, which means you're laid down, and until the next time you activate, you don't get your armor value, which shouldn't matter since he'll have already probably killed us. So Zazu has a better chance of killing him outright. Let's have him run up and do his strike. If we can get 3 damage straight out and then survive the retaliation, we're good. Come on, another crit. No, okay, but we still killed him. But we need to not die. Don't die. No crits. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Okay, that does it. Wait, no, it doesn't. Okay, we're good though, because we killed the guy, we get 2 gold for him. And then Diva is free, she hasn't activated yet, to run in, and that actually finishes the quest up. And speaking of the quest, we get 1 gold for each of them to add to our haul. We ignore the first bonus on them. We're getting 5 more gold from the treasures we found. Yikes, that's a lot. But yeah, that was about as close as we could have gotten. We had 2 death tokens out of 3. If we were on hard mode, we would have already lost. And we had 2 people on death's door. But man, we got a lot of money. I'm not going to continue this campaign, but let me show you how upgrading would work. So we have 20 gold, just counted it. But before we get to that, we look at the death tokens on each character, and they each draw that many death curse cards, and then take the one with the highest value. So for Zazu, he would have accident prone in the next scenario. This hero suffers 1 wound if his attack deals no wounds. So that would go on him, but then his death token goes away, and that'll go away at the end of the next scenario, or when he uses a healing potion, it goes away right away. Meanwhile, Green Sleeves, I got lucky, no curse. But hey, I mentioned upgrading, here's how it goes. You draw cards based on the scenario result. If you lost, you get 6. If you won, you get 8, plus 1 for every 5 gold you earn. So here I'm getting 12. Each of them has a gold cost in the upper right-hand corner, and you've got upgraded attacks. You've got permanent bonus abilities, although they still take up a slot on your character. And then you have boosts that also take up a slot, but you can exhaust them when you attack with something else, like here, just add 1 die to an attack. But the thing is, you can only buy 3 of these, so drawing more cards just gives you more options. So I would definitely get Orc Beater. That's a 4 dice attack for 8, but I've got 20. And I get plus 1 die against Orcs and Goblins, which you saw are like the majority of enemies you'll face. And another nice one, Wind Blast for 4. It's a 3 dice magic attack. And if I roll any hits, I can move them up to 3 spaces, which means even if they're about to retaliate, I can move them out of range of that. And I think going a bunch of attacks is good until I filled up more spots, so Crescent Bow is nice. It's only 3 money, I get 3 range dice, and for Green Sleeves where bows do better would be a nice choice. So I only used 10 of my 20 gold, and you can only keep 1 of it for the next scenario, so the other 9 would just go away. And by the way, I am very much liking the idea of Zazu having an Orc Beater and just being able to use it over and over and over again. But that was Arcadia Quest with the new official solo mode. I could continue playing the next 5 games in the campaign and seeing if I win. A quick thank you again to our patrons for selecting this game and voting for it. I definitely had fun. But for now, good gaming, and we will see you at the next stop.